My name is Michaela Fissel, and I'm a young person in long-term recovery. For me, that means that I'm in recovery from a primary diagnosis of bipolar disorder, which led to drug use. Recovery gave me the opportunity to live a meaningful life, and I'm now a contributing member of society with a purpose and a future. I lived in homeless shelters, I lived on people's couches, I slept under bridges, I did anything really just to survive, really. It was just all about survival. It was, where's my next meal coming from, but more importantly, where's my next hit coming from? There are periods of my life that I can't even remember up to this point. I didn't realize that I had a future. My mood instability and things like that made me feel like out of control, and so I tried to cope with those feelings of unrest and anxiety by doing drugs, because that's what seemed to be like the norm that everybody else my age during adolescence was doing. At 20 years old, I was hospitalized after an episode of psychosis, and while I was in the hospital for about a month, I received the formal diagnosis of bipolar disorder. When I was in the hospital and I got that diagnosis, it was like this aha moment where finally I had a reason for why I had struggled so hard for so many years. I wouldn't be alive today without recovery. I probably would have killed myself by now or died to drug use. I couldn't even count the number of doors that have been opened while I've been in recovery. If I can't rise above the circumstances of my diagnoses or rise above the circumstances of my history, then what purpose is there to live? And recovery gave me my purpose. Recovery gave me the opportunity to take all that garbage that I was handed and to turn it into a masterpiece, because that's what life really is about, and that's what recovery is about for me. It's just living every day to the fullest. Any opportunity that I get to share my story, if it's going to inspire hope in anyone that's in the audience, I'll share it. Amazing things happen in recovery. Amazing things.
I'm Devin Fox. I'm a young person in long-term recovery. What that means for me is I haven't used a drink or a drug in over 3.5 years. Recovery has given me choices. It's given me the opportunity to make the next right decision. It's given me the choice to be a better son. It's given me the choice to be a better brother. It's given me the choice to be a better member of society. It's given me the opportunity to do the things I never even dreamed I could do. I grew up and I didn't use a drink or a drug. I didn't even smoke a cigarette until I was 18 years old. And then it was when I was 17 that I started acting out sexually. And I say acting out, but really, I was just like freely expressing who I was, that I was like a gay man, and that I didn't know what that felt like, and I was scared, and it was a secret, and I didn't want to tell my family. And then subsequently, all of a sudden, I was 18 and I had graduated from high school and I was in college, no longer under the pressures of what my family life was. And now I had alcohol, and it was, wow, like I can really be who I want to be. And I thought that was everything that I was. And it was like, it really felt like I had arrived. And then the alcohol turned into marijuana. And then it was like, smoking 10 blunts a day, drinking on the weekends, binge drinking on the weekends, having this supposedly amazing, college experience, and slowly declining and not knowing what it was, because I thought that was what I was supposed to do. And then I couldn't stop. And then somebody introduced me to crystal meth, and it was, I thought I had arrived before, but my God, now I was on the moon. I woke up in a hospital a couple times, and the last time it was, okay, well, you're in a hospital gown, you tried to kill yourself again, maybe something should be different. And I went away, and I was truly ready to stop everything. And at that point in time, that's when I entered into recovery. That's when I finally admitted to myself that like I needed a better way of living, and there was tools that like I was willing to learn and to use to get better. And my best friend said to me, "Oh, you know, I went back to school and there's this program there that's for recovering students. There's a recovery house. There's a collegiate recovery program, you know, for students who are in recovery." And I was like, perfect. Because I was so afraid of going back to school, because school is where it all began. And I finally said to myself, I was like, you know what? Like, it's time to go back, and maybe this is the next right option for you. Maybe this is the next right thing to do. It was probably the best decision I've ever made, because it gave me the opportunity to be in a safe environment and continue my education, to like graduate with my bachelor's, to graduate with my master's, and then move forward into like this realm of recovery. Recovery is everything, you know, and I stress that like recovery truly is everything, because you know it really is the opposite of what addiction is. It's about giving back. It's providing service. It's being everything that I was meant to be.
My name is Justin Luke Riley. I'm a young person in long-term recovery, and for me that means that I'm an asset to my community. I'm a better husband and a better son. That also means that I haven't used drugs and alcohol since 2007. In the beginning of my alcohol and drug use, alcohol did for me what I couldn't do for myself. I felt better about myself. I could talk in front of people. I could go to school and be okay. But eventually, alcohol and drugs took everything from my life. My happiness, my family, the few friends that I had to my name, it just took everything from me. Before I found recovery, I could have been in a room full of people and felt alone and scared and hopeless. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I sounded. I just didn't like who I was. When I was 19 years old, I attended my 7th treatment program. And finally, after all those years and different kinds of meetings that I had gone to and met with a lot of great people, something finally clicked. And for me, that was learning that I could contribute to life. That even in my circumstance, I had something that I could give to someone else. I heard a message that I had never heard before. I heard people use words like helping out God's kids. And I had just never heard that before. The best way that I've ever heard faith explained is that faith is like film, and it develops best in the dark. And in my case, early on in recovery, and even later in recovery, there was a lot of darkness. Leaders that had helped me even get to where I was at that point in time, they had passed away, committed suicide, or they themselves had overdosed or even gone back to prison in some cases. When I was able to resolutely make a decision that I was no longer going to live with alcohol and drugs in my life, regardless of circumstance, my life started to change. And I was able to add value to other people's lives outside of my own. If you would have told me 5 or 6 years ago that my dad was going to be the best man at my wedding, and my family and friends were going to come together on one day to see me marry a woman that I could never have imagined to be with for the rest of my life, I just wouldn't have believed you. I would have never thought that my life today could be so extraordinary. Not only filled with faith and family, but a lot of fun. I get to meet with some amazing people all over the country that are also young people in recovery, and also people that are outside of this recovery movement that absolutely believe in what we're doing, and that's helping other people and seeing what we can do to contribute to society. My vision for the recovery movement at any age is that people hear a message of hope and they hear a message of solution, that they learn at any age, from any level of experience, that they have something to offer someone else, and that there is hope and that there is solution for everyone.